Hi everyone, welcome to another video from Elearning portal. In today's video, I will show you how to create a student report card in your Moodle course. Now, I know you are familiar with how a report card is currently populated in Moodle. First, you need to go to the course. Then, in your left pane, click on Grades, and you will see the gradebook in this window here. Here you can set up your gradebook by adding weighting to your particular or specific activities and then export the gradebook with all the learners' grades. Now you can download it as an Excel file or a CSV file depending on the options you choose. If you download it, it will populate an Excel file that looks something like this. Here you need to format the specific file to make it look more like a report card, and this is a tedious process. The second option will be to install Configurable Reports from your Moodle's plugin directory. So if you go to moodle.org and go to the plugin section, search for Configurable Reports, and the first one here you can download the correct version you are using and then install it in your Moodle installation. Once you've successfully installed it, you need to know some SQL queries. So you need to know what's happening in your Moodle database to start using the plugin. And this is also a learning curve because you need to be familiar with SQL queries. You need to know the course ID, the user ID, and then how to interlink those two IDs. Okay. Now that it's installed successfully, you can click on Turn Editing On. And then once here, you can add a block to your dashboard. Add a block, search for Configurable Reports, it's under C, there you see it, click on it, and it will add that Configurable Reports to your dashboard. Now you need to configure it, click on Manage Reports, then click on Add a Report, and since we'll be populating an SQL report, let's give it a name. I'll call this the functions report. I'll leave the type of report on SQL report. Leave everything as is, but here I select it should be exported in an Excel format. Let's click on Add. In this window, we can add our SQL query that we want to run against the database. So I've already prepared that. So I'm looking for all the activities within the functions course. Okay, so I'll paste my SQL query in here, and it usually starts with select, and then we inner join certain IDs. Okay, so let's click on save, and then when I click on view report, it will populate that fields with the IDs for me. Okay, and this report I can export as an Excel. In an Excel format. So let's click on download. It will download to my computer. When I click on it, it will open in Microsoft Excel and it will look something like this. So all I've asked was the various course names on my platform. Okay, and all the activities on my platform with course IDs. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and you'll see there's a steep learning curve because you have to know SQL queries, how to run it against the database, and what course IDs, activity IDs, and the naming conventions within the SQL queries. So what I'm about to show you is a more simpler way to populate a report card within your courses. So let me show you how this is done. Okay, so let's go to our course. So I'm populating a course report for a specific course here on my platform. So I'll go to this mathematics benchmark assessments. Okay. And it looks something like this, where we have various quizzes I want learners to complete. And then after completing the quizzes, I want a report to automatically be generated for them and sent to them via email. Okay. Okay, so before we start, I suggest you watch my video on how to create a custom certificate, and this will eventually help you or assist you in populating this report, but I'll take you through the steps of how to do this. Okay, so here are all my quizzes. So before we start, there are some preparations we need to do beforehand, before we can add the report, or we can populate the report. And the preparation looks like this. So this is a template that I've designed for report card. It's just the name, and then the subject, the student's name, the year, the category name, the course name, then the course total, course grade, percentage, and here I will populate the topics and the course contribution total, as well as the score of the learners, and here I have the grading scale. So a school report card or university report card, and this you can do in Excel, and I'll leave a link in the description, and you can download this and modify it to your need. So all I did was I exported this as a PDF file. So by clicking on save as an Adobe PDF file, it will provide you with this pop-up, convert to PDF, and I'll save it. Since I've already saved it, it asked me to copy it over. Okay, so here I have my report card in PDF format. Now all I do is I use my snippet tool, and I just click and drag from border to border, and it will provide you with this PNG file. Okay, so let's just crop it a bit. Okay, nice and neat. Now let's save it, and I'll save it to my desktop folder, and I'll call this my report card, and I'll save it. Okay, so here we have our PNG. Let's close this, and let's close this. Okay, so we're back in our course. Now let's turn, if editing is not on like this, that means you can't edit anything. So let's turn editing on. Let's scroll down, and I want to add the report card here. Remember, I want users to first complete all these quizzes, and then the report card needs to be released, and the totals, the scores that the learners obtain, will be populated on the report card. So let's add an activity or a resource, and I'll use the custom certificate that we've installed in our previous videos. Okay, so let's call this my report card. In my options, I click on delivery options, send the file inline to the browser, or you can send to the browser and force the file to be downloaded. Okay, so I'll leave it on its default. Email students, yes. Email teacher, yes. Email others, you can add other email addresses here with a comma to separate it. allow anyone to verify a certificate? No, I only want the teacher to verify the certificate. Okay. Required minutes in the course. You can add minutes if you want required minutes in a course. You can add protection to that certificate by selecting the boxes here. And usually I allow learners to print the certificate but not modify and copy the certificate. Okay. In our common module settings, I leave as is. Restrict access. Now this is important, okay, because I don't want learners to click on the report and access the report before they are done with all the quizzes. Okay, so I'll add a restriction on that. So what is the restriction? It's an activity completion, and I'll select my activities they need to complete first. Okay, so since I've numbered my activities, I know exactly which activities I need to restrict. So I'll choose all the activities within my course. Remember, you can choose how many activities you want to be populated on your report card. 2.3 and then 3.1, then 3.2, and then 4, and then 5. Okay, so all these activities need to be completed before the learners can access the report card. Now, activity completion. I don't want this to be manually completed, the certificate. Okay, so I click on do not indicate activity completion on the certificate. Okay, I can add tags if I want to. I can add competencies if I want to. Let's click on save and display. So now it will display nothing because I haven't done anything to the report card. Let's go back to the course. You'll see what happened. You'll see there's my report card and there's restrictions on it. The learners need to complete all of these to be able to access this report card. Okay, so let's click on the report card again. And now in our right hand corner here, let's click on the gear icon and click on edit certificate. Okay, so this is where the magic happens. Here you can change the name. Let's leave it on report card. We can change the dimensions, the width and the height. You'll see that it's actually A4 size. We can alter the left margin or the right margin. Okay, so here we are going to add the elements on our report card. Okay, so first we are going to add a background image. So let's click on, make sure that it's on background image and click on add element. Okay, go and find our PDF or our PNG that we've just populated on our desktop. So there's our PNG. Let's click on open and click on upload this file. It will upload the file, but here you see under image, there's no image. Okay, so let's click on save first. And now go back to your image on the gear icon here, click on edit. And now you select the report card. Okay, and click on save. Now you click on Reposition Elements and it will show your report card that you've just added. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to populate these fields automatically. Remember, we don't have to type it in. Let's say you have 40 students, for 40 students, okay? It will populate this automatically within the course. So let me show you how. Let's click on save and close. Okay, so for our next element, we want to add the user name. Okay, and this will be either the student name or the teacher's name. I'll choose the student name and then click on add an element. So now I can set the dimensions here. I can change the color, whatever color I like. Okay, so let's go back to our template and I want it this color here. Okay, so the text I want this color. Okay, so let's select that color and see the fill here. and I'll choose that color there. Okay, so let's choose more colors, and I'll just copy that color. So it's this color here. I'll copy that. I go back to my course, okay, and I paste it in my color. I leave it on 12, I leave it on center, and I click on save. Okay, so now it's added my student name. Let's reposition the element. You'll see it added the element here in the top left hand corner. So I'll drag it to the correct spot. So now you'll see, since I'm logged in as John Doe, it immediately populated my name there. Okay, so I'll leave it on that. Okay, now for category name and course name, let's save and close. We'll choose another element, and this time we'll choose category name. Click on add an element. We'll leave it on 12. We'll change the color, and we click on save changes. Let's go back and reposition it. Remember, you need to reposition it once you've added it. So that's my benchmark test. Remember, we're in our course called, or category called, benchmark tests, and our course name we'll add now. Let's click on save. Let's go back, and now for our course name. Click on add element. Again, we'll change the color here. Click on save changes, and let's reposition the element. And this is called benchmark assessments. Okay, click on save. Let's if we click on save changes and preview, we can preview the actual report card that will be generated. You'll see there the name of the student, the category name, the course name, and now we'll need to populate the course total, the course grade, and the percentage. Okay, let's go back. Let's add an element, and this time we'll add the course total, and the course total will be under grade. Okay, so let's click on add element. So now we have our element, the grade. Now we need to add the grade item. So we can choose course grade, and then the grade format. I want it in points and I want it in percentage. So let's add the points. We'll change the color again. Click save changes. We'll reposition it. So that's my course grade. That's my total. Remember, it shows 100%, but once the learner completes all the activities, it will show the learner's total here and the learner's percentage here. Okay, let's click on save and close. Again, add an element, and then grade. Again, add the element. This time not points, but percentage. Change the color, and then click save changes. Okay, so now we can reposition it. So this will become our percentage of the student. So the student's grade and the student's percentage. And now I know the course total is 90, so I'll add that 90 there. So let's click save and close. Add an element. This time we'll add a text element because we're going to type that 90 there. This is my text element. I'll type in there 90. Change the color and click save changes. Let's reposition it. There's my 90. And I'll drag it here. Okay. So this is all the information that I need from the student. Now I need to add the topics and the course contribution as well as the score. So let's go back and save and close. Again, now we need to add a grade. We'll first add a grade item name. Remember, I want the topic name. So let's click on add an element. Okay, so now you'll see immediately grade item. You can choose here your activities. It will list your activities here. Okay, so the first one is 1.1. I'll change the color there. Click save changes. I'll reposition it. And this is my first one here. Okay. Let's save and close. Again, I'll click on grade item name. So I'll choose the grade item name, or you can choose the grade and do the first row first. Let's click on grade, add element. Is it the course grade? No, I don't want to add the course grade. I want to add the activity grade, and I want to add the percentage there. Okay, so let's click on save. Oops, my colors, I haven't changed my colors there. So let's go back and change the color there and click on save. Let's reposition it. Okay, so that will be 100%. Remember, this will not be 100%. This will be the learner score that he or she obtained in this activity. Okay, so it's the activity item name and the activity grade. Okay, so now I will populate all these fields. I will pause the video and populate all these fields, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so now that's out of the way, we can add the course contribution total, and this will add using the text that we've used here in the course total. So let me do that for you. We'll add an element and then we'll add text. Click on add, and now for that text we'll use, it's out of 10, and we change the color and click on save. We'll just reposition that. Okay, so let me finish this and I'll get back to you shortly. Okay, so that was our final one. Let's click Save and Close. And now we can click on Save, Changes and Preview. So let's look at what our certificate will look like. So there we have our topic names. There we have our course contribution. And there we have our score. And this is the score that users will obtain within this activity. Let's go back. Let's click Save Changes. And now our report card is ready. So let's go back. We've saved it, yes. So make sure you save it. Let's go back to our course. And now, when the learners are done with these quizzes, the final quiz, when they're done with the final quiz, this report card will become accessible and it will immediately email the report card for the users with their scores on these activities. And this is how easy it is to design a report card within your course, and which will populate automatically the course results or the course grades of the users. I hope this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon for further videos on my channel.